All right. Hi, guys. It's Professional High Priestess. I just wanted to say that the internet was running really slow because I have reset the universal databases online. And the way that I did that was basically with the Milky Way galaxy, it's not spinning properly. Like there's like some strange protex around it. It's a portal, a rotation, and a vortex. And it should be spinning like one way directionally, but it's not. So it's creating some type of commissat that's allowing bad math and bad like numerical functions to exist. Because math is all about how you chop up numbers, put them together, string them together, so that you can get specific outcomes in a substance, right? So the way that this would work in tech is you put together certain integers when you're first formulating your coding, and that speaks to the specific memory and data capacity that you have available in the device. And it tells the electricity when you bring in this electricity how I want you to then work with that data and that memory. And this is where you get coding languages that are like not supposed to be existing, but they're ran by magic because they're putting in numbers, integers in the start of their code. And what's ending up happening here is that the code is then able to then run bad sequences that make no sense. This is why a lot of coding languages make no sense because they've latched onto a number sequence that an octopus is like using her substance to then attach to as well. So if you see these spirals, like if you see the spiral in the Milky Way, it's supposed to be like something like this. It has like an inception point, a creation point, and then it goes either left or right. There are some universes that people are about to find out about how they got set up in space. The universe spins backwards. That means that it's a very etheric place to be. You will find slavery there, sex work, chaos, etc. That's why you see this spinning back and forth. This was created. It's not real, right? Our Milky Way galaxy looks more like this than it does this. So what I did was I reset the spiral function of the Milky Way galaxy shape. That's going to reset all the planets, reset all the zodiac, reset everything. So the internet's been slow. And I'm going to go on Down Detector, this website, Down Detector, because as I was sitting here saving files on my desktop, you guys can see the time. Down Detector is picking this up when the internet is down, when the internet is up. Okay, so let me just use YouTube as an example. I'm sure that there's been picking up information and data. It's about 2 o'clock. Yeah, internet was down because they were doing something in Russia. So it's not up yet. So we're gonna come back here. I did want to say that one of the things that has happened is you remember my last coding tutorial that I did with the it is the pain. That really shut down a lot of the internet. And then the next day we have something on we have something on Down Detector that's showcasing that our coding is working. So that's another way that we're proving that our system works. We go on Down Detector and we see what websites have been down, what networks have been down. Let me check Xfinity because they run a lot of internet, so I'll be able to see. Yeah, they all had an outage. Yep, because we're coding and we reset the internet, we reset the system. Okay, okay, good. So one of the things that's happening here is the internet is going to be down. It went down, then they put in some like three alternate databases to run the internet slices, which I'm going to talk about as well. And the slices or slice or a shard is when you split up your database. So a slice is taking a piece out. You can have a piece of my love. I've been waiting for you until I get through. I'll be waiting, right? So he's saying you could have a piece of my love, a piece of this cake. Um, I'll be waiting for you. Like the pie is saying, I'll be here. You're a part of me. We're all one Oreo cake. You could take a slice out and still have components of the Oreo cake. Now, a shard would be where you have a cake and then you take out a shard is you have a sheet cake, but one sheet cake is vanilla. You take a shard of that, and I can get strawberry vanilla, or I can get a lemon and vanilla, right? So that's a little bit different. Now we're gonna learn slices and shards, but I like that song. It's called Guy. You can have a piece of my love. I'll be waiting for you. So all these songs from the 80s and 90s are coming back just to show us that people of color always knew what they were talking about. We were just doing something else while you guys were playing with the computer and setting yourself up, right? And whoa, 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 whoa. I call your name, aka putting in commands in the input function of the neural network Takes away the shame because you're getting specific type of kickbacks, right? You're getting a specific kickback into the output, showing you that your code is working. So when there's the input and the output going, and there's like coherence in them, and they agree with each other, this is what the song is really talking about. The input and the output is working. It takes away the pain, right? That's really good. The neural network has been affected. This is going to come again how I got exactly to 8:08 a.m. That's my son's birthday, 8:08. So I know Kufaisa was doing something. This tells me in space that these kids were probably making databases as well. Oh, when the internet is down, we can make spyware, or we can make devices where we can go in back in databases and see your mom's OnlyFans so she can stop running her mouth in space because she tried to play with my mom's spell work and got her fired. Or you try to play my mom's name with a white man, we're going to go ahead and pull out all your bankruptcy documents and then put them online when the internet is down. That's what these kids are doing in space. And if I swear, there's going to be a whooping one day that you're not going to recover from, and that's okay. So there's going to be all of this going. Well, and well, exactly. And then where they're storing the intelligence for those databases is using some of these pieces of hair. I know it's not mine because I'm bald headed, or is it? Yeah. Whoa. The whole internet. Stop. Let me see. You can log on and then you can see data from like a few days ago. So that's not a bad thing. But one of the things that yeah. So it's showing from the past few days up until reported in the last 28 hours. Yeah, so you get for the last 20 hours, but you can buy the data and then you can go ahead and see what other outages have been. So we have to be more vigilant. So there was an outage yesterday because I was resetting the spirals, and then that's prevalent in the notes that I was taking and putting down that I've already saved. And the way that you're going to see that this works for the cartel and that I'm telling the truth is if you see this, right? If you're going to be seeing this, now let me show you something here. I really want to get some touch. Yeah, listen. I went ahead and I organized the query for each aspect of new internet organization. So, like, how do we organize all this now? Now that the old languages are broken and everything like that, don't worry, I'm here. The old internet is on a backup database. Like, it's on its like fake neural networks, shit forged with people of color energy, bad nutrition, nutrition spell work, where people are able to latch onto the chemical sequences that arginine, theanine, B12 vitamins, amino acids, etc., in food, exchanging your body to make your Krebs cycle, to make your electron transport chain go, to make all these biophysiological processes go. I remember we broke that, so they can't latch onto that anymore. And then we moved it to an alternate database where it can just run off a specific spiral that we just put there because we're triaging that spiral out too. Now what we're doing here is we're bringing in the new code, so that internet is on that old spiral, so don't worry about needing your files and all this type of stuff in the organization. We're just going to have it where you can take each website and just upload it to the new system, and then it just converts everything into the new website, into the new file and folder system, etc., by just using templates that you pre-create. Okay, so yesterday what I was doing here was I was going ahead and setting up that organization, which is queries. So the first thing would be setting up a brand new Fortran COBOL. Now, some of you guys are like, not every single system has a COBOL. No, but every single system has an aspect of COBOL if you're running SQL, period. If you're running any type of database creation software or app, you're running SQL, you're running a type of COBOL. And if you're running any type of COBOL, you're going to be running a type of Fortran because you need that chemical server that's like tied all the way up. That's what people don't understand about the internet, or that white people think that we don't know about the internet now that we've understand aquatic functions. So I went ahead and I fixed all that. And in order to fix that, I needed to fix the Galaxy universe in the way that it rotated just by going into its databases. So these are just basically saying like, what order does these go in? I understand this. People don't. So a lot of this is like I typed this out, but only I understand what order it needs to be going in. right? Until I teach it to other people because you just put yourself in the Akasha, then you learn. So that's the way that it works that's the way that it works when you don't have access to the Akasha. I did want to tell you guys, I went to this event the other day. It was a crypto mixer there's like some type of, it's called Homebrew Crypto Hub, Homebrew. Like you guys know Homebrew that used to make the apps for PSP, right? They were a part of that as well. So one of the things with that is I started talking to a white guy that was there, and he was telling me about what they were doing with trying to make a mixer for blockchain crypto, where you can just have one account and then you can upload all your other crypto accounts and move all your money through one account, which is a mixer, right? So a mixer is something that changes up the VPN, MAC address, any type of like tracking job or tracking file and folder so that in the data files you can't read the original like writer. You can't read what aspect of the data it came from because some types of the data are reserved for certain aspects of an app or software or hardware, right? So not all data can go through putting music in files. Some needs to go through running certain type of code in apps. So, and then you would need Quaddle too to be able to in real time pull from a database this aspect of the key, that aspect of the key, this aspect of the key address to have it all mixed up and mashed up. They don't know, they can't do that. They need Yanni and Huey. So with that, one of them came in at the happy hour and I was like, oh, we were just talking about this and I showed him my stuff, da 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 da. He was telling me what he was working on. And the guy instantly was like, "Oh, you're just making stuff up." And I was like, how am I making stuff up?" He was like, "You're just making something up. What you're talking about isn't real." I said, "Oh, so you're uploading me to virtual reality?" Because I didn't open my mouth before you even said that. But what you did just let people know is what projects are running all this scamming and hacking for crypto, which is one Solana, and the other one is called Near Protocol. Operating system for an open web. Oh, so we're making shit up because you're sticking your dick in your mom and sticking your dick in people's kids and you don't know how to code. Okay, so what ended up happening here is what people just found out is who's been playing with all this crypto hacking and starting a bunch of shit. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm sure that you're not going to find on here is their team, but I know who they are though. I can identify their faces. So, and I have a photo of one of them. So, one of the things that you guys are going to find out, I didn't say anything after that. Why would I go back and forth with you? Come on now. Um, Speaking of back and forth, we're going to talk about that when it comes to strings and then database design to release certain aspects in bursts of data and information and things like that to try to like subset the IPv6, capturing aspects of the data and then running the addresses in a different software system or a different type of coding system, mainly JCL, to see where information has been going and coming from. So one of the things here, they were talking about abstraction. The rise of this one is abstraction. This what, oh, okay. The internet was slow. Now it's better because I did that file. So everyone's gonna notice that it goes back up. So Solana is one of the projects, and that one's one of the projects near protocol. So one of the things here is this is chain of abstraction and blockchain factionalism, being able to put all different type of things together and then play like that. That's nothing. You already have all the databases together. Just put them on one node, and then people can go in and out with one password. But they don't want to tell how they got everyone's data to be doing this already. Okay, so that's for the investigators. I needed to know that. One of the things that abstract that I have here that I'm going to put out for you guys is a few math terms that we're going to be going into, like how you have concatenation, which is stringing numbers together. I have another sister system called another math concept called interfraction, which is the interaction with the specific system and how it upgrades or degrades you, and then how a system interacts with you and how it upgrades or degrades you. But then it's also how you can interact with different levels of a system based on who you are currently in your percentage as either a vermin, aka like most white men on the planet that play in tech, or as a high priest, high priestess, most people of color on the planet, right? Interfraction. So what's going to end up happening with this is people are going to start to think, oh, interfraction, what's your interfraction rate? Oh, it's 0% because I was like sticking my dick in people's kids and playing with fentanyl. Good. So you want numbers, you want like logistics, you want all that bullshit that doesn't really matter in some places, but does in others. Here, we have an equation for you. There's an app for that. Right? So that's the first part, bringing down those chemical servers and files. The second part then is to bring down the neural networks that you can run. COBOL is a type of neural network because it's running a certain zodiac placement. It gives you the ability to have a certain type of like database design and file and folder interaction. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to pull down neural networks now in a different way completely. And this is what interfraction is about. What type of neural networks can you access? Okay. So remember, I'm going to be doing classes. It's already going. Interfraction. Here we go. The process of interacting with the system and being affected in your spiral states, right? So that's another thing too. Like, oh, I have interfraction when I can't access anything in this system. I'm barely going to be able to play with the text pad, and that's somebody else's program. I'll be able to play with the calculator, maybe, right? Interfraction. So we're going to be looking at that and showing you guys how to quantify that in three ways. It's three different equations that get your master number and what type of spiral you're running. So you guys are also going to be doing learning about neural networks. This is what I'm going to be doing for Patreon this month, talking a little bit more about this. But when you're talking about neural networks, imagine these as neural networks you could pull from different ones, right? If you have the ability to. And then we're going to be talking about melanin and electricity. Carl Moret, who is a electrician and a doctor who has been involved in the stalking and targeting of Black people for our melanin, why melanin is being sold. Here we go. Here we go. Biosynth. They're selling melanin. How much a gram? Yeah, gold. Wow, 112 $112 per milligram. Whoa. Yeah, whoa. So now remember we're making shit up though because I'm sticking my dick in my mom and I don't know what I'm doing. Right? And then I mix alcohol or other drugs with it and then I really really think I'm smart. So what ended up happening, yeah, so smart that I got caught up playing and we shut down the internet and that's done for white people. So what ended up happening here is we're going to go ahead and pull down that and then there's a third part of that too. And then in between, I'm pulling down like how you need to run the syntax of this new app program, how you start your commands, how you finish your commands, how you weave other commands between different languages, right? Using Linux and Unix and some parts of another coding language. And then how we're going to go ahead and triage all that out. So you need only like about three systems to really, really run the internet effectively. And that's just the aquatic being and her say so in that Akasha. And then the system for bringing down the chemical server that will work in the computer and then how you build that interface out to get the computer to run different databases and then have interfaces for different users and access and then the accesses that each user has. Like I'm admin or I'm front end, I have access, I'm a user on the platform. So that's really it with the cartel. And that's really it for coding. So that's what I'm doing. That's pretty much done. Now, one of the things that's gonna end up happening here, right? That's what happened. This what happens. This right here, this shit right here. This ain't what you want, but this what happens when you don't fuck on your family, baby. Right. So, what ends up happening here is we start bringing down like the pedal systems because remember it's a broken botanical system and whatnot. We're gonna do a lot with this. I'm gonna go do a whole coding tutorial, but I just wanted to get this out now. I know the internet is slow today, so I'm not gonna do a long tutorial showing people that UTF-8 is only the UTF-8 system 8 through 32 is only it's only available in its executable form, right? AKA where it's not just null, something that you're just writing and it doesn't have any effect, it's just visualizing itself. Like I'm writing a number. Okay, you wrote a number. That doesn't mean that you're adding this and that. We're getting anything out in like equations and products or things like that, derivatives, all that, right? So this is only executable where we can do works like this, like the let me upgrade you to where I brought down another Mercury planet. I brought down another one to run the internet because the internet was super slow because it's down, because it's getting moved to a whole other database. So I was able to do that with this, but it's only executable with Akasha. And that's where this is where interfraction comes in. the process of fractioning yourself, making yourself whole, or the process of obtaining. Well, when we're doing the numbers, that's the process of obtaining a fraction. Like I'm 108 over 100, meaning that I can use this spiral and then I can actually edit and work with this spiral so I can bring different databases onto the internet. You're at like 58. That means that you can play with like HTML and text, but you can't do any of the stuff that we can do. You can play with their old broken systems, but you can't do what we do. You need to be at least like 84, where you can start working spirals and start to use the UTF program. So what's ended up happening here is people are going to get mad because they thought that they were going to play all like that, start a bunch of bullshit, bitch, more shit than you can really fucking fathom if you really think about what you just insinuated and did in front of the whole planet as white men, majority handsome Asians, right? And getting really smacked the fuck out with charges and chaos and that internet and computer breaking in front of you. So now what happened is my desktop has changed again. This was not me. Once again, this was the high priestess. There's a way that you can track those type of jobs and commands too in the activity monitor. Let me check my activity monitor and see what's going on with my screen. Let me see how long it's been running. Yeah, running 37%. Did you see that? You see? Let's see, Windows Server. Yeah, running a lot of energy. You see the Windows Server running a lot of energy in real time. Why is it running that much? Because it's the high priestess cleaning up everything through my desktop. And then also the water on my desktop. This I did not set. This came with Apple. This water, they're projecting into this water and then it's getting onto my desktop and cleaning everything up. Thank you so much to all the aquatic beings. This is how we exposed who started slavery, the different aquatic beings that helped. Because this water on my computer and then all the karmics that were in the different files and who's really playing in the cartel this time around. Yeah, please listen when people are talking. They're telling the truth. It's been very serious. What type of spiritual war is that? You're uploading people to this type of technology. We're winning now. People are seeing this now. So people want to talk. They're excited. They haven't talked before. Let them talk. Okay, so this is done, right? So now another thing that I need to show you guys is this table that I put together. It's a PHP hack table. I'm only going to go through a few and I'm going to be going through some slices, right? You can have a piece of my love. I've been waiting for you until I get through. I've been waiting. Whoa. Over and over and over and over again. Yeah, because when you're playing with slices, you can do a slice over and over and over and over again. Meaning, if you're really greedy, you can take that slice of cake, and with this concept of slicing in Amazon Web and other type of like servers, you can take that slice and then split up that slice, but still have that slice be the same size. It's like magic. So the cake is only missing one piece of a slice, but I have that slice. But then I could slice this slice up, and instead of getting like little pieces of shards that are still connected to the main database, aka the big cake, and still connected to this like secondary database, or it's like aka the slice, and then I'm a sub slice. I can get the same exact slice, the same size, carry the same amount of kilograms, kilobytes, or the same amount of calories, the same size and the same satisfaction. I can eat this size slice over and over and over and over and over again. It's the same size. But then I can go ahead and have different servers attached to each slice. But then it's eating at the main cake. So I may take out the calories, whoops, or I may take out the nutrients or take out the flavor if I'm really playing games, which is Skylink or that Skynet. Which what's that thing? Elon Musk is trying to build some internet that you can go around with for pedophiles, but it's connected to one database because they need a specific type of coding that I have. So you mean to tell me that a bunch of kids are going missing and they're harassing and stalking you, which is causing like a big world chaos, so that they can build technology for child pornography? Yeah, and to hide, and that's what you started, you goofy bitch. So now let's get back to the song. You guys should listen to it. Hey, I've been waiting for you.
Being the sole writer of all my videos and the director of my
Right. Baby, you can have on me, cause I'm not totally free. Can't tell you everything that's going on. Baby, you can have all of me, cause I'm not totally free. That's when you're making pieces of slices, right? And then you're having specific files that write to the slice. And then you're trying to also make it that you can have attachment to the main database and be able to not write those files that can track into your slice, but you want the benefit of having access to that memory of data. Because I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on. Let's keep on going. I can't tell you everything that's going on, meaning that you can't have access to this whole type of database. I'm not totally free. You can't take over this whole entire database, even though you're just a slice. But wait, now you understand codependency. There's a few things in my past that should not be explained. Yes, right. There's a few things in my past which should not be explained. So sometimes these slices are created and you don't know that these slices have been created and you're like, okay, you came to this company, you worked here for a few months, you were here just to make these slices and shards so that you can run child pornography in different places. Yeah, there's a few things in my past that should not be explained, meaning you don't have the full architecture, the full query, object and class, array, etc., integers. You don't have access to all of that. You have a piece of a specific part of the pie. So what's going to end up happening is I'll be able to put in specific precautions to stop that, or somebody that was already here before you already set that up in the main server design and database, right? Which is complete total consumption. No question that. Yeah, hush, no jobs. There's a specific command that they have put forth to push back the file or the folders or organization for privacy, right? And tracking and permissions. They push that back using Acton, right? Or you don't need to log these jobs or you don't need to log any of that. Don't worry about that. And then that's why he's saying hush, no questions asked. Stay here for a while, right? Do as you want. You can go in and out, back and forth. But remember, baby, I'm not totally free. I can't tell you all these things are going on. But if there's certain conditions that are met, you can do what you want. But what condition has to be met? Somebody either is putting the computer in control two mode, right? Putting the system or they're putting the server or the computer or into control two mode. So their specific computer is tapped, or the server is tapped, or that there's something in the app header that's tapped that's allowing people to go in and out and use as a type of like no permissions, right? So if you put something in a specific type of control state, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can go ahead, really control two, you can go ahead and bring in other layers of code with the chemical server that edit the compiler that allow all your code to come in and edit. So you have good perfume, you may be thick or something like that. So now you bypass this nigga's boundaries. Let's continue. Yeah, lay back and relax. I'm not worried about like these different files and folders being written to your slice that will track what you're doing, unless I know how to look for the amount of memory people are using, where the slices where certain things are being stored, and certain type of lines and codes and line statements that are placed in certain places, so people can go back years into the future. In years in the future, they can go back and know where to go put certain like lines of code or integers to bring down interlays, not an overlay, interlay, meaning I lay down here, 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 and here, and then I overtake your system, which is very annoying. Imagine that type of like sensation going in on your ear. 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8 Fibonacci. This is now how we get to this same exact shape that you're going to go ahead and see in the galaxy again. This away and that away. Crisscross to make you jump, jump. Daddy Mac can make you jump, jump. Look at this. Now you guys have seen how they are building bad comp sets and how they're playing in this coding. Let's keep on going, right? Now kick off I know that this is wrong, but the feeling is so strong. I know that this is wrong, but the feeling is so strong. This is like where the main database has different files and folders pushed back and certain screens pushed forward using Linux and Unix commands to stop a specific array, stop a specific like array or string or loop from going, logic that would stop the slice from being able to write into the main database and take over more packages of data to run more memory on its own slice, right? This is where you take out all the moisture or dehydration from the cake into one slice. And think of like a big ass Trumbull cake. You guys remember Matilda? Trumbull, that big chocolate cake? A big juicy Trumbull cake, but all of it is dry except for one slice. That's like the whole thing with that cake. It's like, it doesn't matter that it's a nice big cake. Trumbull's involved in it. So you're not going to really get satisfied at the end of the day. I wish this could last forever. But it wouldn't be the same. Tell me who would be the blame. It wouldn't be the same. Tell me who would be the blame. And this is where you're getting, you don't know what level of coding this is coming from, what developer, etc. Because people have been going to the line comments and attaching to the line comments that they put in there that are non-executable. They're null. Sorry, they'll just be null, right? Instead of non-executable, they'll be null. But you'll start to see fixed or floating points, like different places. Like, why are you putting all these numbers here, but they're not commanding anything? You're putting the fixed point. You're putting the fixed point there, fixed or floating. What ends up happening is after the decimal point, there is a string attached. This is an ASIC type of string to continue the numbers. So instead of like 18.00, it's like 18.00 dot 002 or colon 002, which puts it into control mode or brings in certain modes or brings in strings of ASIC strings that the octopus gave them. And then they can string that into different databases to be able to capture onto different databases to keep on taking more data. Don't take it all from one database, take it from different ones. This is how you're going to shard or keep slicing out of a slice or keep slicing, like taking the same amount of the slice over and over again without like the main cake noticing. And that's where you basically have like a pie and you split it up several times and you take out like the nutrient from each slice, slice by slice, and then until like there's no more left. And then you're putting it into the main cake or you're then replicating it like into its own slice that you get to eat. Like, oh, okay, I have this like vanilla cake or something like that, this sheet cake. Let me put this slice over here because I just took all the nutrients and stuff like that out. Does it change the sheet cake? It can. Now, that's where you're going to start looking at different files like, oh, why are you storing all these things here? They make no sense. Is this like from some other database where you're like hosting a different files, a bunch of different NFT images to hold like child porn and things like that per pixel? You're using like the background of the color and then you're putting like the letters for the web link, all like that, or you're storing like links, all like that. It's just like a bunch of bullshit and drama for them to be able to play with their dick and play with their kids. They're making videos with their kids. Hey, next we're gonna watch Lloyd next. Hey, cause I just wanna be your man, just wanna be your man. Oh, it's like my favorite song. Yeah, we're gonna go play with Lloyd after this. Plus, no questions asked. Lay back and relax. Take off your shoes. Let your pretty face. It's heaven now, baby. I'm giving you a piece of Right. And then there's another part where he says, let your pretty, sexy hair down, right? And that would be to me like, let your strings down, like strings of integers that you're placing in here and here at line comments or in the headers to be able to carry like memory packages to bring down first the electrical flow, right? And then to then code that you're going to attach with MMX to this part of the memory through 6486 coding. 60, it's x64 to 86. It's like how you capture memory, how you play with memory and play with bits. This is something that the investigators need to see because it's like the type of memory files from 86, 64 that are telling you, or 64, 86, that are telling you what a type of like database design and architecture that they're running. That's the biggest thing. Like, what type of files are they running, though? That's like how you should be thinking about it. So what you're going to end up doing with this is saying where they're storing all of this, and this is going to free a bunch of people. I have a whole bunch of this, right? So it's like a hack table. There's still more. So with this, with the slices, they do it horizontally. They can vertically. It's bad because it creates a bad shape, right? So that's how do you then clone the cake? I want to know more about cloning that slice of cake where I don't get calories, but I can keep eating, right? There's spell work like that that exists. You have to build your way up for that. So now, um, whoa, yes, yeah. People feel jaded and bitter that this is happening. I did too. So now there's more of the discussion of the intellectual thing here. Go. So now, after you get into interfraction and get hit with so many decimals, where's my calculator? Let me get my calculator. Give me 1 second. I call your name, and it eases the pain. Da 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 da. Takes away the shame. I do, you do, birds and bees too. God, I love you, but I know. Whoa, 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 call your name. Da, 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 dee, da, da, da. Let's look into this. I want to play with integers in people's system. So now, so what's gonna end up happening here? Right, and then you see how this says like silicone, right? Because silicone says silicone as a service. That's so funny. But silicone is a component in chips, and if you know how to properly work with spiral chemistry, you can amplify the spiral in silicone and run higher valences, and then get higher outputs by increasing the capacity of the electron and neutrons, and then their interaction with each other, which brings down their databases and their function to then go ahead and run the chemical itself and run reactions. Otherwise, you just have a dead chemical, right? So, or it can't, it just cannot be dead or sealed, meaning it's not accepting reactions at this point, right here. So, what's going to end up happening here? This is 80, how do you code with memory and things like that? So, what's going to end up happening is we're going to keep doing this, but that's what I have right now. Um, use it at overlays in Angular using NGF directives, using different type of directives. Okay. And then what Angular is like really a mix between like a coding and a Amazon Web Service, yes. But Angular has like a lot of HTML mixed with how to work with the memory directly. It's something about Angular that's very interesting as a coding language. I will say look into it. They didn't have that many books on it at the library. Like we're glad to be able to have a place like that, right? Because coding books are very expensive unless you just go to the store and just read them there. Right, what type of codings? The next thing I'm going to be doing that after doing this table, the hack table, which is 5 pages, is I'm going to go and I'm going to, yeah, and it's all the secrets. So the cartel could just copy and paste and say, this is what they're doing in coding and to steal from us. And then you'll have the diagram too. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a diagram of each coding language. So the way that that works is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this coding for you so you know how to start each and every type of like coding language, right? When you're executing, like, okay, now I want to use HTML, now I want to use PHP. How do I mix them both? There's different type of commands from Linux and Unix that you can go lay down, and then you're gonna go ahead and then bring down specific type of like